Afternoon, everyone around the world, wherever you may be tuning in from, as we look at the water out on the ocean here in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. We are in the southernmost tip of Vancouver Island, the capital city of British Columbia. Victoria is the harbor, set with the legislative building in the background and the lone Canada Goose on top of the rocks, watching out as the sun shining in full bloom is springtime. Everyone piling in to the Save On Foods Memorial Center as it is playoff time at the 2013 Ford World Men's Curling Championship. So we have the 3-4 game coming for you. Canada at 7-4, Denmark 7-4. Luke Coley joined with Rick Watson. It's a chance to meet the teams here in our feature matchup on a Saturday playoff edition. Red and white will be in full force here today.
Team Denmark. With their lead, Trolls Harry. The second, Mikhail Atrap-Bolson. The third, Johnny Fredrickson. And their skip, Rasmus Stern. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Team Canada. With their lead, Ryan Harden. Their second, E.J. Harden. Their third, Ryan Fry. And their skip, Brad Jacobs. All right, gentlemen, in just a few moments, this ice will be yours. Good luck, good curling. Let the game begin.
Well, those are the two teams that will face off in this 3-4 game. They finished round robin play at a 7-4 record. Played late in round robin, one of the games that dropped Canada to this instead of being in the 1-2 game. Rick Watson joining me. Should be lots of fun. Denmark, Canada. Denmark winning the round robin game. Canada started off the week really hot. Hard to tell what will come out in this 3-4 game.
Yeah, these two teams played just the second last draw of the round robin. It'll be interesting to see how Canada rebounds. They lost their last two games of the round robin. They could have been in a position to finish in first. Instead, they lost their last two, dropped down into fourth place, which put them in this 3-4 page playoff game. So the winner of this game will move on to the semifinal later today to face Scotland, who dropped a 6-5 decision last night to Sweden. Sweden heads straight to the gold medal game, and they will await the winner of this afternoon's semifinal. And a reminder, the rules of play this week, they have to play at least 8 ends in the playoffs, 73 minutes per team to play their stones, and they are allowed one interaction with their coach per game.
Well, both teams were in red and white, but it will be definitely a home ice advantage for the Canadian side. They had it in the round robin. We'll see how Denmark reacts to the crowd. You got 24-year-old skip Rasmus Stern. This is the first time that Denmark's been in the playoffs since 1990. And that year was Rasmus's father, Tommy, finishing third.
I guess if Denmark wants to be in the playoffs, they need a Stern on their team.
And of Fredrickson, it was also the third on that team, Johnny's father, Ivan.
So because Denmark beat Canada in the round robin, Denmark will have the hammer here in the first end. Canada throwing the red stones. Ryan Harnden will start it off for us. Be interesting to see how the Canadians perform this afternoon. As we said, they lost their last 2 games, 3 of their last 4, sort of limping into the playoffs here. This is a do or die situation now. They have to win this game.
Well, center line guard, very tight. Put up the corner guard. So corner guard a little bit wider than they probably wanted to put that stone. Slides out to the wings, really protecting the side of the 12-foot.
Trying to drag this back into a buried position. Comes up just a little light. Denmark can see most of it. They'll attempt to freeze to the face of that stone.
Both leads in their round robin game, solid numbers. Trolls Harry, 91. Ryan Harnden at 90. Important freeze, try and sit on the corner of this. Well, right on top.
Done.
So good freeze on that one. Canada going to try and freeze on top. If that corner guard was in a better position for Trolls Harry, might have seen Denmark play around the corner guard because that one just in the top of the 8-foot.
And in Thursday's round robin game between Denmark and Canada, this is how most of the ends started. It was a center line guard, a draw, and then numerous freezes on top of shot stone.
Well, little mistake. Just didn't curl for them. Well, they want to get to the inside of that one. Got to get past the front. Get by. Little hit. Stick around. Still leave Canada lying 1 in the 4-foot.
Normal? Where am I hitting it, Brad? 3/4. Okay. I don't really care about...
See how that shooter squirted out to the left, that there is a double opportunity here for Canada. Nicely done by E.J. Harnden. Canada lies 1.
Didn't overthrow it, knew that they had to get rid of both of them to make this double. They were going to roll away. The shooter doesn't stick in the house. They tried to play it a little bit quieter to see if it could. Rolls out, leaves that one top 4 foot. And I like this call from Denmark. Early in a game, you're taking on Canada with a hometown crowd. Play the hit, keep things a little bit simpler than trying to play that freeze and junk it up.
I think this is just a hack weight tap. Didn't quite get enough of it. The Canadians still will stick around and the shooter rolls out.
Looks like they're sliding real good. Hair more, I think it's hair quicker. Hair quicker? Yeah. It could be about how the middle is. All right, tips, please.
Canada can now lie 2 without the hammer here in 1.
Well, Ryan Fry and this Canadian team had to take the same route to get to the Canadian Championship final. Beat Olympic gold medalist from 2006 Brad Gushu in the 3-4 game. Glenn Howard in the semifinal. Then Jeff Stoughton in the championship game. Trying to draw around.
And the last time that a team came out of the 3-4 game to win the World Championship was in 2005 right here in this building when Randy Furby's Canadian team did it.
Well, they try the run back, go just over the top.
You like a guard on it?
Same weight. Hey, guard, yeah. Same weight.
Stop it, boy.
Try and put the pressure on the Denmark side. Put this tight centerline guard. No, they still have the 4 foot for Denmark to get 1, but anytime you force a young skip to play that in the first end of a game is important.
No, line's good. It's got a curl, actually.
Hard! We're like halfway.
Line's
Hard,
good.
hard, hard.
Whoa.
Whoa. Right off.
Good spot, actually.
I don't find it any faster.
No, maybe not. It's a pretty good spot, actually.
Kun halvdelen, Ras. Vi spiller linje igen, Janni.
Some of the better dressed Canadians in the crowd.
Be hearing them in the background cheering out and spelling out Canada as they have throughout the week.
So they'll just peel away that guard. Canada continues to lie 2.
Straight guard. Speed's good here, Brad.
I think so.
Straight guard?
No, we're topping it.
Topping good, yeah.
Speed's what it's
Good.
been.
Yeah.
Han hælder angreb med din.
Give it, just be a little bit more positive.
Canadian skip Brad Jacobs here with his first stone of the first end. From Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, this team won their first Canadian men's championship this year.
Weight's good.
Close for line, yep.
Knock 8, weight.
Yep. Hard. Whoa, yep.
Just line.
Where is it?
Yep.
Yep.
looking to tap that stone straight back.
Yep.
Over curled just a bit. That shot stone is exposed and it's behind the tee line.
I thought that would be a good broom because in practice I saw a few. I thought that would be a good broom.
Yeah, probably. I thought it was good too. Just maybe.
So Denmark will now try to hit and roll behind that center top red stone. Rasmus Stern curled 81% through the round robin. Brad Jacobs was just ahead at 82.
But a 95 in their game in round robin, that was the difference, especially in the ninth end. Made an outstanding in-off to score 2. Trying to get any roll.
Like a nice firm hack.
Firm hack right
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
let's go, Brad.
The Canadian team had all day off yesterday, and just comparing them, it's been a roller coaster week. They were on fire at the start of the week, didn't look like they were going to miss a shot. Then they lost a couple of games. Confidence sort of dwindled a little bit, and they rebounded, but final day round robin, played a fantastic game against Sweden. Couldn't come up with a win, meant they're in this game. Just had to focus on the task at hand. And that in front of them is this Denmark ring.
Looking for a hit and roll here, possibly setting up a steal in this first end.
Well, and they just get by the front. They flirted with that one. Harnden's able to hold that. Shouldn't have been a factor, that guard, and they're able to just save that one.
A little soft. Couldn't catch it out of your hand.
See, just get by the guard. If they wreck on that guard, then Denmark, who had been on the ropes this entire end, would have had a deuce on their hands after all.
Right out of your hand, you're probably good.
So now Rasmus Stern, facing 2 Canadian stones, will be forced to draw to the 8-foot for a single point.
An important stone may seem simple, but needs to get this one to the 4-foot, actually full 8-foot to get that single point. Nothing yet from the front end, standing beside it, needing it to come down. As it comes into the house, no problem. Little nervous moments. So after one, Denmark leads 1-0 over Canada.
Welcome back inside the Save On Foods Memorial Center here in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. That looks like a homemade hat.
The Rockheads and the cowboy hats with the maple leaf. All kinds of hats, and fitting for some of the rain we had in the middle of the week, the Canada umbrella hat. Keeping themselves dry. Won't need those to stay dry here in this beautiful venue.
I know it's bad luck to open an umbrella indoors. I'm not sure what an umbrella hat, wearing an umbrella hat indoors is bad luck or not.
Well, the Canadian side definitely hoping it's not bad luck. They lost 5-3 in round robin to Denmark. This Denmark team, their first time to the playoffs at a world championship. But Rasmus, just 24 years of age, has played in the playoff round before. The Europeans in 2010 and 2011, where it was in it. Lost the final in 2010, won the bronze in 2011. And also a world junior champion in 2009. Well, winner of this to the semifinal. The loser will drop to the bronze medal game. Well, first stone in, the long guard. I think he can make a play, try and use the corner if you're Canada now.
They'll play through that port now.
Just hack weight for Ryan Harnden. Remember, can't remove that guard, so if it overcurls on the front, the guard will go back out, and everything will be replaced. As Rasmus, that's why he's trying to get on this, get it out of the rings, out of play.
And it does bounce off the sideboard, so it'll be replaced where it was.
We'll see if the official, it looks like it may have just touched the corner.
That's good.
Because it looks like it may have touched that corner guard. Just a little, and that's why they're going to move back to where it was. Canada there, according to the rule, could have removed their red stone, but can't remove an opponent rock in the first four. So an early miss by Ryan Harnden. Mikhail Poulsen, chance to draw around, going in top part of the rings, lie two.
Nicely done. Denmark lies two behind cover.
Well, now any stone can be removed. They're going to play the run, and we'll just peel the center line guard. Denmark lying two. See if they try and take that aggressive approach to put that center line guard. Denmark, 7-4 record, losing 4 games. 2 of them, their first 2 to the U.S. and Scotland. Won 5 in a row.
Martin henover den center. God redning. Hvad sidst? Ja, kom on. God redning. Kom med, dreng. Kom on,
To get this to the other side of the center line.
Well, get about half of protecting that top one. Again, playing the peel, knowing the run back is an option for Canada. They wanted that a bit higher. It didn't curl, so they had to try and make sure they protected that stone. Well, we'll get the top one off, rolls things over to the side. And we'll see now with that one in the rings, Denmark guards it or peels the corner.
Almost missed that.
Well, catches that one right across the face.
Danish coach James Dryburgh, former Swedish national player.
And Scottish junior player. Now works good friends with their alternate, Lars Vallant, and that's how he got into this position, working with them. Trying to help guide them to a medal here. Only 2 medals for Denmark, both bronze. Never made it to a final.
Trying to replace that lone Danish stone in the house now.
Leaves this whole week coming in, if you ask Denmark, their main objective was to try and get a spot for Denmark at the 2014 Olympic Games. They've accomplished that. Now it's in the playoffs. Could say nothing to lose because not a lot of people would expect them to come out and beat Canada in this one. Well, try and get by the guard.
This time.
Could have actually stayed on that one.
Just by that center guard.
I wonder if Brad knew that the weight was coming. They said it was a little bit down, and obviously with the sweep call to go, if he had a little more weight than what he actually threw, which Brad thought that was coming, might have stayed a bit straighter and made the perfect roll. Now does force Johnny Fredrickson to come after him. Play this out turn, quiet weight.
You hear Rasmus Stern whistling to indicate it's a not sweep.
I really think a key in this game is going to be the thirds, and Ryan Fry and Johnny Fredrickson. Johnny really picked up his game near the end of the week, really left a lot of options and a good influence on Rasmus, because the experience definitely on this Denmark team is Johnny Fredrickson.
Yeah, he's appeared in 9 World Championships. This just the second for Stern.
Canada trying to roll back. And in between goes between those 2 guards. So tough to make those hit and rolls perfectly.
Great throws, Fred. Yeah, good calls.
Not a bad spot.
That sure takes off, eh? That intern.
It curled so hard, it took all the handle out of it too at the very end.
It's crazy.
They're hoping to sweep it behind their red corner guard, but it didn't quite get it there, so it's visible through that hole.
Well, got to get through the hole, trying to make this hit and roll. By the guard.
It'll roll right out.
I heard Canada talking about how much that intern goes. I'm not sure if he maybe got this one going a little bit on the release. Rasmus indicating, was it his release? Did he get it going, or does it just dive?
Canadian coach Tom Coulterman looking on. He's been with this Jacobs team for 4 years now.
Just line, right?
Yeah, just line, I think. Just line, I think, too.
Just line, right?
Right off then, lots
Switch.
line.
Wait's close. Wait's good.
No line, no line.
Hey, we gotta go soon.
At the end only.
Yep,
Petey, get in there.
yep.
Make that curl. Come
Hard
on.
now. Hard now, Ryan, go.
Really going.
Yep, 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 yep. Hard Ryan, go, 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 go.
Drag it all the way to the top of the button. Partially buried, I think. It's not completely behind the guard.
Can see part of it. It is a guard that I think you could try and play quiet around. Other option is just try and freeze down to it. Force Brad to have to hit the side of the button for a second point because it goes to the top of the lid. Maybe just a sliver of that one available.
Looks like with the ice indicated that that's what Stern is playing. The freeze.
Go! Shoot! Six! Shoot! Shoot! Come on, Nick! Six! Yep! 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 Yes! Six! Yes! Shoot! Come on, Nick! Ten! Ten! Yep! 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 Hard! Hard!
Well, they tap it back, so now full forefoot for Jacobs to get a second point. But is about all that this Denmark skip could do. He's forcing Jacobs draw for a second point. We'll see if they go out a little wider than the previous one. It's about the same ice that Denmark just put down. Well, it would be a start that they wanted. A chance to get a force and a deuce in the second. Brad Jacobs, final stone, needs the forefoot.
Line's real good.
Good sweep for the tee, boys. Good line. Real good line.
Line's perfect. It's actually got a curl. No,
Real good
line's
line.
perfect.
We gotta wait.
Whoa.
We gotta wait.
Needs to be full forefoot.
Well, needs to stop as Johnny Fredrickson sees it come down. Not much effort onto it to try and sweep it past as it hits that curve. Well, the Rockheads that spell out Canada, delighted with the Canadian deuce in that second end, so leading 2-1.
Quite a few battery-powered hats there, too, lighting up and wiggling around.
So Jacobs gets a great start. Gets that 2 in the second after a force in the first. Has to be happy the way this one gets going.
Yep. Okay, okay.
Trolls Harry try and get that corner guard. They weren't able to use it in the first end when they had the hammer. They're going to try and answer back. Round robin game, there wasn't a deuce till the 9th end.
Corner guard just stays out of the rings, so it cannot be removed for the first 4 stones of this end.
Yep. Hard line. Hard line. Hard line. Hard line. Got room now. Got room now. Got room. Lots of line now.
Weight looks great.
It's good.
Okay, real good line too. Yep. Go about half. Okay. Full 4. 4 foot.
Well, trying to draw around. Obviously, at the world level in the world men's, Denmark not nearly as much success as the Canadian side. Played 40 times altogether, and 34-6 is Team Canada against Team Denmark at world men's. 2 of those games were in the playoffs, one being the semifinal in 1990. Rasmus's father, Tommy, and Johnny's father, Ivan, the back end, lost to Ed Wernick. They ended up getting the bronze medal, and here, Harry able to make that little freeze tap, sit on the corner.
Man. Really not a bad call.
I like the draw.
What's that? Right here?
Yeah.
Well, the outturn right into the center of the house.
Got room. Room. Room.
Might have to go soon.
Queen. Room.
Watch line.
Room.
Wait.
Room.
Go line.
Room.
All at
Stay
the
with
end.
it. Queen. Yep. 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 Hard. 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 Straight up hard.
Well, they take it just across center, lining things up. Get enough behind that there's no red, yellow, red tap.
Whoa. Wait. Whoa. 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 Wait. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, trying to run it, pick that top one, and just pushes that one off to the side. So it going off to the wing leaves 2 corner guards.
Or just peel it out.
It's a pretty great shot he just made.
In case you were
He's
wondering.
got 2 corner guards. This is a
Well,
catcher.
Brad's
for
doing
him.
my job. I can just leave then.
We play the double peel. There's a jam over there.
No. No, it won't. You might take it.
Tap on the nose.
You hit and roll off that one.
I don't mind tapping it.
Okay.
Right.
Hair more weight. The last line.
Yeah, like throw back 4.
So want to just move those ones around. Want to just go tap, tap, create some separation. Important, the line on this stone. The reason that last one was so great, because they get that one off the face of those centerline stones and rolls for a corner. So you have to make the double peel. Otherwise, it's a hit and roll to lie two and try and get buried with one of the two for Denmark.
Yep. Whoa.
Just have to be careful on the angles here, how they hit it. It's a little bit of a tap. They're trying to move around. They're trying to make the little tap and roll.
Right on the nose is fine. Yeah. Control.
Don't quite get enough of a roll. It opens up things to the forefoot and play behind the corner guards if they can. Canada trying to bring things to the center.
Get off that. Keep going. Keep curling.
Trying to come over, trying to catch any of that Yellowstone to remove it. So comes enough at the end to punch that Yellowstone out.
Canada lies 4 without the hammer here in the third.
Little back.
Hair.
Took its time, eh?
Go. Bang. Chill out. Set. Yep. Hold. Bang. Chill out. Set. Whoa. Set. Whoa. Come on, hurry.
I'll try and get any roll behind. They'll touch that back one, but nose can be made. You can actually roll to the wing. I don't know how much Denmark will want to have their young skip throwing its numerous stones with the hammer.
Control.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, all of Canada's rocks will be off to the wing. It's not like there's a wall blocking the forefoot at this point.
Well, they want to make that hit and roll. They'll just cross the center of it. Playing behind the corner, you are facing forward, but Denmark make a hit and roll all of a sudden. It's a pretty good position. You're forcing Canada to come after you. Right now, Denmark has been chasing Canada for the most part in this game.
Go. Bang. Samfang. Go. Bang.
Well, hit the roll and will come just a little bit into the 8-foot behind that one top 12-foot.
I think it did the trick because it is exposed slightly on the outturn side, but that would jam on one of the back reds.
It's just a short roll. See this one, they catch half of that stone, roll into the 8-foot. No matter what, Brad's going to play this across the top. Rasmus, even if he makes this, might have something to freeze to on his last and use corner guards, because the shooter, if he hits this one perfectly to make that yellow go away, shooter's going to roll to the top part of the house. Just a hair high side of nose on the broom side of that rock.
Yep. There you go. Hard. Gotta go. Whoa.
Well, there's a mistake by Brad Jacobs. The hit and roll was good enough that forces the guard to come into play. And if they get by, they might even miss it or jam onto those back stones. Important placement of the stone now to try and get your 2. Can't be in the top part because then it leaves a double for Jacobs.
Altså, ellers så vinder du bøtten på den, altså. Og så frem igen.
Looking at splitting the house and keeping these 2 Yellowstones
Altså, gør ikke noget,
even.
det åbent. Det var 7.
Ja. Den kommer voldsomt, Johnny. Når du switcher den, så stikker den af.
Put another one on the tee line. That would be
Den kører helt derud.
near impossible double.
Where did you take for this shot?
Yeah, I know. Edge of the button, maybe?
Yeah, it's close.
Well, a long week and always thinking a few shots in advance. An exhausting, mentally draining week for all the skips here in the field.
7, 6,
Plads.
7,
Plads. Wow. Wow. Hvor lang er den?
Kommer nu.
Well, they need to be 1-2 with this. Poulsen, Harry just staying close. If it comes down, needs to sit for shot. Just in behind, goes behind the tee line. And Jacobs out is the freeze. That's the problem. Had to be so precise where he went. Even if he goes in front of the tee line, doesn't bury, leaves the double. Now he goes behind, and the freeze option's available for Jacobs. He makes it.
And that other one that was already in the house was already behind the tee line, so freezing to that was always going to be an option.
I'll touch the guard on his first, and now trying to redeem himself, put the in-turn freeze.
Slide for now.
Yeah, slide. Just line all day. Stay real close to it. Yep.
Rocky.
Whoa.
Got room, I think.
Whoa.
Back 4.
Yep.
T.
Yep, slide.
Back 4.
Back 4, back 8.
Yeah.
Well, can't afford to bounce off of this one.
Right off.
Bounce off, a chance for 3, and just a little bounce. And now the question is there enough room to get to the nose for Rasmus Stern to pick up 3?
I think there is, and if there isn't, he might play the run back for 3.
Og herfra før, ikke?
Jo, men jeg kommer meget mere fart.
Eller kant kun, ikke?
See, he only needs to
Og midten af.
bump that shot back to 3rd shot, so, or it'd be 4th shot, I guess, about
Bare lige skub den ud af 8'eren, jo.
3 or 4 feet.
Det er også den fart, du har spillet. Jeg tror bare, du har jo på scenen.
Well, that's the scenario, trying to get just to the nose, can maybe get away with it a hair high. Young Skip has played well all week, and here chance for 2 or 3. Looking to capitalize on this opportunity.
Needs to curl quite a bit. His weight's up quite a bit.
While trying to curl, get past that back one, spill it far enough to get there 2 at least. Not the 3rd point, but still able to answer back, get 2 of his own, and retakes the lead. So Denmark 3-2. They exchange deuces. A 1-point game as we head to the 4th.
Just real control on my first one. I thought right here we had like this much room, and then in the
in the section, and the 2 people are coming towards me right now. married for 62 years. That's amazing. Right over here. Right over here. It's your husband right there. Thank you very much. What's your name? Molly, and you are? Yes. And here's the big question. Go help them, because you probably know this answer. What was the date which you got married? Good answer. That's okay. That's okay. What we want to do here, folks, is we want to show people that love is alive at 62 years of marriage. All I want you to do to win 2 cups from Time Smallness is I want you to just kiss for 10 seconds. That's it. What happened? You want to see 63 years of marriage? You have to get right here. Okay, hold on. I just finished. Are you ready? Are you okay? I'm going to count. Okay, so I'm going to count you down. And I want you to pucker up and just right there. Okay, 3, 2, 1, you kiss, okay? Don't look so excited. All right, here we go. Make it fast. Make it fast. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, here is sponsored by Viagra. Congratulations. Wow, that's the most action you've seen for a while, that's it. No, okay. Okay, tell you what, I got some cups for you, man. That's right here. I got a cup for you, and I have a cup for you, young lady. And there you go. Congratulations on 62 years of marriage. Let's give them a round of applause.
There's our youngest fan in the crowd this afternoon. Probably our biggest crowd of the week so far, watching Canada's first playoff game, hoping it's not their last. Do or die for these two teams. The winner moves on to the semifinal, and the loser moves on to the bronze medal game. 3-2 Denmark leading as we start the fourth.
God retning. Vent lidt. Vent lidt. Johnny. God retning.
Well, Canada's deuce came out of a great come around on Jacobs first. That one, Johnny Frederickson makes an outstanding hit and roll. Sets up the mistake by Jacobs. Freeze wasn't perfect. And an opportunity at 3. Didn't quite make it.
Ryan Harnden curling 91% through the round robin. That's tops among all the leads here.
Shot right.
So first stone top 12 foot. Charles Harry preferred having that one into the 4 foot.
Charles Harry curling 87% this week. Tied for 7th.
Ja, til 3, dreng. Super retning.
Kør. Lad bare komme.
Retning.
Skal ind foran.
Ja.
Kør.
Ind over linjen.
Den er skidegod, dreng.
Retning er super nu.
Well, they decide to put the tight guard. I think it's in a position, that one top of the rings, where you can't really count on it as a steal point, but does close in the scoring zone, trying to keep play away from that corner that Jacobs will want to use. Make the freeze. Might see come right around everything. It's a tough freeze because there's not a lot of room in between.
And of course, since that stone is in front of the rings, they can't play the double peel yet.
Real close. Real close. No, it's heavy, Brad.
Well, they got to make the decision to go around or play the freeze, and so many times you see them make the decision a little late. And again, that's the case. Just a little late. They could have got on that and taken it around earlier as it was coming into play.
Yeah, instead it bounced off and into the open.
Oh, big scrub to get it past their own Mikael Poulsen. Lies 2. And now Canada, see if they try and spin it out.
You can probably just make the double.
We could run it like that, eh?
You just make the other double too, can't you?
We could do that. You do that
have
too.
to throw it hard, Brad, or?
I was thinking control on this.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind that. Okay.
I don't really know if I like that.
Or normal. Whatever you like.
Yeah, okay, normal. Yeah.
Okay.
Want to make the double. I think you got to. They don't want to leave that one around. They want to make sure they get it out of the rings. They miss hit it a little bit.
EJ Herndon is the top-ranked second through the round robin.
More.
Well, want the shooter to stick. They threw a bit more weight. It rolls out. Now Denmark can put one in a better spot. That's why they wanted to make sure they stick the shooter.
Real close. Bounce real hard. I just need a curl here, Monster. Tough spot, though. Real tough. Any tighter in something hurt.
Warning. Plads. 5-6. Warning. Plads. Plads. 6. Hold sit. Go far. 6. Warning. Plads. Det skal falde rigtigt. Hold sit. Plads. Masser af plads. 6. Go far. 7. Helst væk så langt ned fra ham. Kom lidt. Okay, Ming. Go far.
Well, right to the forefoot, but almost wide open. It doesn't curl in there for them. Like too much weight. Or, pardon me, too much ice for what he threw. Sweepers didn't have to do a lot on that one.
Weight's good. Yep. Whoa.
So the call now is a hit and roll away from that center guard. Just a nose hit.
Wanted the roll away so that they could not leave the short little hit and roll.
That one took off.
Well, had some room past that guard. I got off it because they try and get as close to nose as possible. They weren't going to touch the front, but was hoping to roll to the outside.
Just a nose hit again from Fredrickson.
Seems like that's a real touchy-feely spot right down the center of the ice. If it gets across the center line, it's going to go.
Goes too far.
And they're afraid of that. They don't want to touch the front. And Ryan Fry will try and make the hit and roll. You can roll short just behind the center or all the way over behind the corner guard.
Ryan Fry curling 86% coming into this game. 100% through the first 3 ends here today.
Well, try and roll it over and jumps it over to the side. Doesn't spin back. Makes the big roll.
In behind that corner guard.
Took a few shots, but finally able to get the right spot. Actually comes out the other side just a bit and forces a run back. So Ryan Fry, important shot. See if Fredrickson can answer. Well, run it back, pick that one out.
Nicely done.
Very nice.
Just got a sliver of that backstone, but got it enough to remove it.
So still leaves the corner guard as Fredrickson makes this run back, catches enough to just push that one out of play. Fry rolled behind, now looking to draw behind.
Line's good.
Top eight.
Wait for it.
Okay, room. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
T-line. Good
All
line,
at the end, guys.
Good line.
T-line, we got to wait.
Okay, whoa, then. Whoa.
Yep.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
Well, run back on the first. Stone's in a similar position. Look at another run back.
Der er ikke noget, John.
Her, for jeg kan se den lige linje.
Spil den igen. Så spiller den, så spiller han derovre, så ruller du en under, så giver du dem, går du dem på 2 i hvert fald. Mindre is, jeg spiller pil. Ja.
So now it's Rasmus Stern's turn to attempt this run back. Canada lies one here with the hammer in the 4th end.
Played 47 run backs throughout the week at 79%. Overall in the tournament at 81, looking for a run back.
Nails it again.
That's not an easy curling shot that Denmark's just made back to back. You miss that, you're giving up 2.
And those guards keep getting further and further away from the house, so they get more difficult every time.
Did have his own to run back, so Jacobs had the chance to draw around. As Rasmus wanted to stick this one. If they could have stuck it behind, would have lied 1, but rolls it out. Brad Jacobs wants to draw around. He's going to go around the center, knowing if he goes behind the wing, might just see Rasmus ignore it, go around the center and say, come after me. See the numbers for Brad throughout the week. Was 6th among skips.
We can still wait.
You gotta wait.
Wait all day.
He dropped with last few round robin games.
We can still wait.
No. Yep. Hard now. Come on, go Ryan.
Similar to the second end, right in behind the centerline guard. Will we see a 3rd straight run back from Denmark, or do they freeze?
Looks like it is a run back.
It is a different spot, though, not the corner guard run back. This one is a tight guard, nose hit, try and leave it protected.
Final stone in the 4th end for Rasmus Stern without the hammer.
Well, jumps off the center line. Did they lose it? They'll make the run down, but kick it, run back, kick it out in the open. It's that spot right on the center line. They were off. It took a move, and then they jumped it and couldn't hold it.
So now just a blank attempt from Brad Jacobs to retain last rock into the 5th end.
So all that and this to hit, roll out, blank the 4th.
Shot, Brad.
So there it goes, rolls out. It is a blank 4th end, so the score remains Denmark on top, 3-2 through 4 ends.
Kom bare ud. Ren sofa. Og det var fordi du...
Those might be some Swedish fans left over from last night.
Still enjoying their victory in the 1-versus-2 game last night as they knocked off Scotland. Scotland was out practicing just prior to this game, getting ready for their semifinal tonight. This game, no second chances for the loser of this one. They are eliminated from gold medal chances. Will play in the bronze medal game. Face the loser of tonight's semifinal. And always high expectations on this Canadian team coming in, even if it is this Brad Jacobs rank that has never been to a world championship. Their first world experience, junior or at the men's level. So first stone into the rings, the corner guard. Although in this 3-4 game, Canada trying to win their nation's 35th World Championship title in Victoria. We know one thing, it won't be a Canada-Scotland final as it was the last 2 years. Well, Scotland in the semi-final.
Could be a Scotland-Canada semi-final.
I like this for sure. Don't jump this. I think it's pretty straight.
Sweden is, of course, idle today, waiting until tomorrow to see who they will face for the gold medal.
Clean. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard on the way. Yep. Hard each. Stay with that roll. Go each.
Well, the guard doesn't protect it, so they can roll away. Tough to use that corner guard unless you make a long roll for Canada.
Just a hit and stick.
We won't jump this because this runs. Okay. Weight's good.
Clean. Roll. Clean.
No, never, ever.
You heard Ryan Fry say it runs here.
Yep.
Not curling.
Okay, shove each.
Slight inside roll, but not able to get all the way over under cover.
Really straight, eh? Dead straight. Yeah. That was a bit.
Well, try and make the short roll behind the center, just cross center line, and very nice. Jumps it over, sits top of the forefoot. Now it's Canada's turn. We saw in that last one the runbacks. 3 runbacks made by Team Denmark as Canada got a stone buried each time.
Yep. Yep.
Well, sticks it, leaves the 1 in the rings. Electing to guard it up.
Warning. Go. Two. Two. Yep, Megan. Warning. Yep. Two. Warning. Pass. Go.
Tres.
Wow. To. Stålsæt, men han hænger sig alligevel. Kommer noget, drengen. Yep. Sæt stålsæt. Yep. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Well, just wanting to leave that one higher than that. It goes into the front.
Watch the roll in, eh? Yeah.
She has to make this run back.
Hard. Whoa. 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 Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Well, they want the run back. Off on, off on. Try and roll it onto the paint. And I don't think it quite gets into the rings. The worry was, could they roll this one in? So not going in the rings probably changes the shot call. Otherwise, you might see a run back try and clear that front up. Johnny Fredrickson, top part of the rings.
Warning. Go. 6. 5. 6. Masser af plads. Stålsæt. Masser af fart. 6. Stålsæt. 6. Plads. Kom ned. Kom ned, ja. Nej, stålsæt. Kør. Hard. For langt ned, ikke for langt ned.
And this one's hanging out too.
Johnny.
Well, side of the forefoot, lie one.
Still like throwing it up.
They'll play the run back again.
Well, they want to try and run that one straight back. They'll miss it over the top.
Wow. I was on that the whole way. Yeah. Shoot, sorry, Brad. I thought that was going to curl here. So did I.
So now Denmark can guard up that shot stone. There you see the Japanese team in the crowd. Skip Yosuke Morizumi's foursome. Finished the round robin with a 3-8 record, but they did defeat Canada and Sweden. So they'll head home with those feathers in their cap.
And had a lot of fun throughout the week. Very animated, enjoyable to watch play, especially their game against Canada, where it didn't seem they could miss much. But here, Denmark trying to beat Canada for the second time in this event. Well, leaves the guard much higher out in front. But being a longer guard, I think you actually probably could draw down and maybe make a little tap on that Yellowstone.
You think if we throw like back four and sweep that, sure. Yeah, we're gonna touch that to there. For sure. Stay buried.
Yeah.
Canada does have the hammer here in the fifth end. They're trying to generate 2 points.
Last end, it was the runbacks made by Denmark. A missed run back by Ryan Fry in this end now has us in this situation. The guard out in front.
Go hard on this at the end and tap the back.
Okay.
T-line.
They don't want to try and move it very far because of it being overburied behind that center line stone. Being a longer guard, it will curl. Fair amount coming in.
Just T. Top four. Whoa. Whoa. Just for weight. T-line. Yep. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Just freeze. Yep. 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just freeze. Bump it. Bump it if you can.
No, can't do it.
Well, by the guard with lots of room. This one will bump it. but comes out maybe just a little bit in the open.
Denmark can now play the same shot.
And actually can see some of this one.
Yeah, the red is obviously more open than the yellow was. So if Rasmus Stern can get to the slightly on the inside of that red stone and roll in behind cover, he'd be in a good steal position.
Try and doesn't have to remove it. Well, they want to try and get to the nose on this one. Tap it back, push it all the way through. Because they rolled out, they were worried that if they rolled a bit, there might be a double. It curls a fraction more and nose it instead of rolling out a little bit. It's a cold draw. Now Jacobs lining up a double.
Maybe a double for a blank, I believe.
Well, and you see
they hit it right.
Knock one of the guards, but it shouldn't be a factor in this one. They move it back just below the forward writing in the ice. They replace it, and that's what's available here. Trying to get the blank right out of his hand. Both Harndens, EJ and Ryan, trying to make the double. Well, have enough, make the double, spin it out. A fraction of a difference on the last one for Rasmus Stern, and they might steal one, force a draw for one. Instead, second straight blank. We're through 5, 3-2, Denmark leads.
So the Page playoff 3 versus 4 game. Denmark with the hammer, facing 2 Canadian counters in the first end. Danish skipper Rasmus Stern looking to draw full 8-foot for the single point. And he will do that. Denmark leads 1-0 after 1. On to the second now. Canadian skip Brad Jacobs with a stone already on the button, looking to draw to the full 4-foot for his second point. Sweeper's right off. It needs to finish right at the end. And he will get into the red paint for his deuce to take a 2-1 lead through 2. On to the third now. Denmark has a tap for 3. It was set up by a great hit and roll by Johnny Fredrickson. Rasmus Stern doesn't curl quite a bit. It jams. He is able to tap that Canadian stone back far enough to pick up his 2 points there, take a 3-2 lead. The fourth and fifth were blank, so we are 3-2 Denmark at the fifth end break. Our stats after 5. Denmark leading 3-2 on the scoreboard. Percentage is practically equal at every shot. Denmark with a slight edge overall, and at draws, the hits are tied, and no steals. Our last 2 ends have been blanked.
Thanks.
Welcome back inside the Save On Foods Memorial Center here in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. This is the Page 3 versus 4 playoff game of the Ford World Men's Curling Championships in 2013. Our last 2 ends have been blanked, so Canada retains the hammer into the 6th end. Trolls Harry starts things off.
Well, coming out of the break, normally a little bit faster and straighter. That one might have been a little bit more weight, obviously, than they wanted. Sliding to the back of the 12-foot. Now we'll look to put the corner guard. So we see numbers for the first half of this 3-4 game. 90% for Ryan Harnden. So that first one in a basically non-factor, going to the back of the 12-foot. Trolls Harry put one into the top part of the rings.
Warning. Pass. Johnny set. Warning. Ind over sæt den egen. Warning. Hertil. Warning. Føler godt. Og Troels.
Well, second one into the rings. Canada will try and get their deuce throughout the week. Pretty good hammer efficiency, 39% of the time with the hammer getting 2s. Just averaging 1 blank end a game, and so far they've had 2 blank ends. Trying to even these 2 guards out in front. That one a little bit tighter to the house. That one deep, basically hanging on to the back part of the rings. You see Mikkel Poulsen at 83%. See if he can roll this one in. It's tight to the house, so try and make the hit and roll. There's the hit. Try and roll it over, sit. Hang around. Now they want to see if it just hangs as a biter. And it rolls just out past the ring. So Denmark line 2.
Yeah. Nice speed here. Yeah, top 8. Got a hair light each.
Yeah, it's not Yep. Yep. Are you light? Hard. Hard, guys.
You guys got it.
Hard. Come on.
You guys got it.
Help, Brad.
Go, Fry. You guys
Well,
got it.
EJ right in behind calling for Brad's help.
Keep going. Keep going, boys. Come on, boys.
Trying to get this around that corner guard.
Keep sweeping, boys. Keep going. Come on, boys. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
While trying to get it as far as possible. EJ knew when he threw that one, he'd just have to try and be a cheerleader. Didn't give it quite enough to get there. See, they just get by the front. And now, another Denmark run back. We've seen numerous run backs. And we'll miss that one top 12 foot. So there were 2 to miss one of those in this game after making run back after run back early on.
Can I freeze to that back one? Or is there not? Or is the line too tight? What's wrong with just the guard?
We could throw another guard.
Yeah, true.
Throw another guard for now.
Okay.
Well, this guard they'll want a bit higher, trying to protect that one top 12 foot.
Ready to take it easy on you guys. Just make it. We'll sweep it. Weight's good. Halfway.
Halfway is good. I'm worried about an over curl here.
Higher the better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan.
Right off. Right off.
Or high. Sit.
That's fine. That's
Shot
good.
each.
Well, they get off it knowing that the further they take it, it's going to curl and leave that top 12-foot stone exposed.
One in, knock, Johnny. Prøv. Ræk en anden af ved ting, og retten og ruller ind ned foran her.
Sidder den ikke nede i den der?
Den er ikke ned i den. Ja. Hak. Go. Jump. Yep. One in. Yep. Go. Yep. Yes.
While trying to get past the high one. By now get at the one in the rings, avoid the jam. And they get away with it as they actually roll their shooter over with lie 3. A gutsy call playing that quiet weight at it, knowing that it could jam and leave that Canadian stone as
Yeah, I like the double
in the
too.
rings.
Watch the roll up.
Are you okay with the out turn?
Yeah.
Throw it up.
Half.
A little less.
So double takeout coming from Ryan Fry.
No. Yep.
Hard.
Whoa.
Well, try and make the double. They'll touch that one back as they actually see if they can roll it
rolls
behind the
behind cover.
corner. Well, the crowd just realizing where it rolled to. That wasn't the call. They were trying to make the double on that.
Not bad.
That might have been better than plan A, actually.
They get a gratuitous contact on that second one to roll over, but they'll take it. You see the front end all smiles, joking around that that'll do, even though they don't make the double.
Der er rimelig stor risiko for, at James lige ned i det her. Så bare fjern den ren.
Bare ramme den på den vej.
think this might be a straight peel of the corner guard, because if you miss this one the wrong way, could end up jamming on those back ones. So get rid of the front, as they'll touch that guard over. So it nearly flashes the peel, leaves it in play.
And he makes the hit and roll, and then we miss the run. At least we're still solid back there.
It's quite a turnaround in a couple shots here.
I think either split the rings or freeze the back one.
Yeah?
Whatever you think's best. Just thinking, if you freeze the back one and he makes a perfect hit and roll, we miss the run, at least we're still in good shape. You know what I mean? Like, he's not hitting the line three.
It's either that or split the rings.
Well, if
Split the rings is good.
you split the rings, he makes a hit and roll. Well, no, we have to be in.
Well,
so if he
you're
makes
right.
the hit and
You
roll,
want to
it's still
freeze.
shot. True.
Yeah,
Yeah, like edge of four, you mean? Yeah, I kind of like splitting the rings personally, but
Really?
like edge of the, like get it to just bite the edge of the four out there. Whatever you like, Brad. Whatever you like.
I like EJ's thought process. Like, if we're here
Okay, let's play it then.
and we miss the run,
Yeah, let's play it.
we're in better shape.
This gives us a chance at three if he misses. Yeah. How's that ice look? Looks the hair tight to me. I don't think so.
it will stay out there for a while, then it'll curl at the end.
Okay. Right on it.
I want to go to the back. Those stones deep in the rings.
Right to the back.
No, there is a hit and roll.
Right to the back 12. Good line.
This has some protection. I think you put it in the wrong spot, splitting the rings, you could leave a double.
Hey, we're back there.
Just line.
Room.
Line's perfect.
Right off.
Well, not
Bump
perfect,
it
but
for
it's pocket.
clean.
Bump it for pocket.
Yep.
Canada lies 2. Rasmus Stern lining up the double here. Might lose one or both of his back yellows.
He's not nervous.
Look at those numbers for Rasmus. He was 95 in the round robin victory, 90% in this. Don't know if this 24-year-old has any nerves. Well, I'll try and make the hit and roll. Doesn't make the roll inside. Close to see who's shot Stone.
For sure?
That's definitely the call.
Yeah.
Okay, Fry.
Oh, long look to see if they're shot.
Yeah, by a mile.
Appears to be Canada.
That's us.
It's us by a mile.
By a mile?
Yeah. It's full 8.
By a mile or a couple millimeters.
We had you here.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty good ice because maybe just a shade inside that.
Shade, okay.
Let's go, Brad. Full 8.
Yeah.
Brad at 80%, being outplayed
Line's good.
by 10%.
I think you
Line's
got
perfect.
room. Got room. Weight only. Gotta get weight all day.
Well,
Full 8, guys.
whoa, wait, just full 8.
Line's real
Line's
good.
good. Well, it's got a curl.
Still
actually.
weight.
Whoa.
Whoa then.
Looks heavy. Yeah, well, we're not sweeping. Sit. Sit.
Well, doesn't want to go deep because a freeze is then the out for Rasmus Stjern. And just a little deep, goes just behind the tee line.
Shot, Brad.
Kommer over på den naturlige side af garden, og det er jo også godt. Ja, man kan lægge den her. Ja. 0,5.
Ja.
Så er du på hans.
Og ikke du kan se nok til at komme til den der, altså.
Frys. Frys. 3 eller 7, Rasmus. Hold ind i siden af skidt med Johnny skidt. Ja. I skal ikke kramme den eller...
Well, I can see part of it, wondering if they're maybe trying to tap it.
Yeah, I was wondering if they could get to the almost to the nose of that to tap for 2, but
just have to touch that back one.
Go, 6, 7. Running. 7. Running. 7.
this is sliding down that ridge that they've been talking about all game.
Well, starting to make its move now. Now just trying to keep the line, get a little bit of a tap. And it's their shot. Stone, the little bit of a tap might leave a bit of an opening now for Jacobs to try that double.
Den bumpede, men ikke meget. Det er godt spil.
It's dragging?
It should, yeah. Yeah,
Just normal?
whatever weight you like.
Oh, I don't know what weight I like.
Half rock.
It's half a rock, yeah.
Yeah.
I like throwing a little more than normal.
Okay.
Like just
Throw peel. Half rock. Okay.
you like that, eh?
I do, yeah.
Peel.
As soon as that one came down, this was why Rasmus didn't want to tap that one at all. They had to wait on it, but wanted to make sure they had the angle of the live shot. It's a pivotal point. 6th end, but 2 blanks. Denmark leading 1. Hit this perfect, you can get 2. Miss it a little bit, you can give up a steal.
You heard them say they think even if the yellow jams onto the red and the red will drag, it'll go straight back onto the other red, which has another yellow catcher back there, so it would still be for 2.
Nothing laid to it yet.
Whoa. Whoa.
Try and pick that one out.
He picks it out clean.
Wow, what a great shot and a gutsy call. Could have drawn for 1. Knew it was there. A little bit of room and doesn't touch their red. Brad Jacobs. That's the shots they were making earlier in the week when they went 6-0 to start. Lead 4-3 after 6. Well, not a brush laid to it the whole way down. They catch a fair amount. They're worried about clipping their red. They don't touch it at all, and enough for that yellow to spin out as they use that few millimeters of separation to score an important deuce. You can see the intensity in this Canadian side. A lot of pressure on them all week, but come up with 2 and lead this 3-4 game. Well, the Czech Republic side, their skip Jiří Sneedl right there, probably getting a few messages coming in this week after just narrowly missing the playoffs. 6-5 record, including a victory against Canada. The first time the Czech Republic beating Canada at a World Men's Curling Championship.
Yeah, technically it only tied their best record of an 8th place finish, but I think their performance far surpassed it. They were in the playoff picture until the very last draw, finishing with a 6-5 record.
And a win in their final round robin game would have meant they were in the playoffs, would have put, or into a tiebreaker at least, would have put them into a position to try and get a direct berth to the Olympics. It looks like Czech Republic just on the outside of the qualification.
Yeah, they'll now be forced to compete in Olympic trials for the last 2 playoff spots in Sochi, or last 2 Olympic spots for Sochi.
And that one been announced. It'll be in Fussen, Germany in December. First come around here, Trolls Harry will go deep. Just not the spot they wanted to go to, back 4 foot. Canada can hit or just play the straight come around.
Fine now. Freeze it. Lock it on. Line's good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No need to. No need to. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, hammer back to Denmark. Let's see how they bounce back. Already been more deuces than their round robin matchup where there was just 1. We've now seen 3 of them, 2 for Team Canada. Again, winner gets Scotland. Loser will drop and play tomorrow's bronze medal game. Denmark has never played in a World Championship final. Only 2 bronzes. 1987 and 1990. Haven't been to the playoffs since 1990. That one comes down, sits just on the corner of that Canadian stone, which is shot stone, back button.
Denmark's playing well still. They were in a good position last end. No need to get discouraged. They're still in this game.
It just shows you how precise you need to be. If that one is perfectly frozen by Rasmus Stjern on his final rock, there's no double to score 2. It's probably a draw for 1.
Exactly.
I think at some point Denmark's got to blast something, got to move something around. Right now, they have no way to avoid the steal or get us additional points.
I think they could get it shot stone on the intern side, but Canada has a couple raise options. They have 2 red stones in the top of the house.
They want to try and roll for a corner, something they can use. It spins back closer to the rings. Could be something they could play in off.
Yeah. You guys like that? Either that or another guard.
Kind of thought they might put another guard up still early in the end.
One more guard. You should like 3 after this.
Huh?
Whatever you like.
I like a guard. Tight guard.
You hear just that little bit of confidence and assertiveness in Brad Jacobs' voice, which was lacking a little bit in the last end up until he made that
Clean.
Just for weight.
that double takeout for 2. You think
I got to guard the one on the button, right?
Got
you got to
curl.
think he's maybe
Hard.
have more confidence.
Hard. Yep. 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 Good. Good. Good.
That last end, what might have been what Canada needed.
Bare ned på hans.
Op og ned. Lad løft hans af.
Bare fryser.
As they have Denmark in trouble here in the
Ryk
7th.
lidt, Johnny. Det er nødt til.
Hvis han spiller den der over nakken på den, så rører hans egen.
Det er bare fuldstændig.
Nej, hvis du spiller der ned.
Du er nødt til at rykke lidt. Spilles. 8 ud af hånden, stille og roligt.
Ja.
Running.
Gå.
Yep.
8, 9.
Yep.
Gå.
Yes.
9.
Yes.
Lang.
Running. Klar. Whoa.
Kan.
So as I said before, that shot stone is accessible on this side of the sheet, but it just won't curl. A little bit too much weight there, I think, as well from Poulsen.
Superbold.
Like tapping or that.
Fjerner altså alle vinkler.
Got to do something because.
The angle off that.
Yeah.
Så bare med, hvis vi kommer ned på den.
Men så splatter
They've
han
seen
også.
that in off before coming off the side. That was the 9th end in their round robin game where Rasmus came off and
Kinda got it. Tap
scored
outs, don't
2.
we?
What's that?
Kinda
Thought
got it.
Denmark might make a peel, try and open things up and keep it a little simpler
what I
here in the
like here.
7th end.
I think we
No,
got
not
to
at all.
tap, try and get to the nose of that red and tap it and release that angle.
This one?
Yeah.
Like right now, this angle's pretty good for that to at least stay.
Yeah, it's the other one I'm worried about.
What?
The other rock I'm worried about.
Talk about it, eh, guys? It's a pretty important call.
He loves saying that, right?
Yeah.
Well, you heard Ryan. He's still new to this team, getting used to playing with them. This is the first year together.
If we ever.
This
if
is
I
the
ever
World
can get to
Championship. They're
nose
all important calls.
And tap it to there. Even if I don't release this angle, we're in pretty good shape.
As long as you have leave it on the face, right?
He's got that in off. Yeah, like we got to get another one in there, I think, to outcount the back one.
For sure.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
that's-
Coming this way doesn't really do us anything. It
no,
just
because then he
makes it easier.
slashes this. He can slash this right now to lie 2 behind guards.
Okay, so where do we want to be with this?
Just try and tap this 3 to the nose. If the weight's good coming in, try and release the angle.
If not, straight tap.
Yeah, release the angle's not that. Okay.
It's like a T-line weight, eh?
Yeah, no more than that.
Just draw.
Well, the pretty important decision was made as a team.
T-line?
Always different when you have a miss out of your opponent. What do you play following that?
Where is it? Easy.
Not 4.
Easy.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. No,
Set of line is good. They can tap it up.
Back line.
Off.
Oh. Curl.
Off. Off.
Curl.
Well, as the dust settles, what does it work out? I think they can get everything flying here.
Almost perfect.
That's the problem. You're playing that perfect angle, and you change it just a little bit.
Helt op i 4 fod.
Hold den her, Arsenal.
Wait, everything.
And you see the top stone in that line is now exposed. So Fredrickson can run that one straight back.
And get everything moving. If you hit this in the right spot.
He could get rid of 3 reds and 1 yellow here.
trying to clear up that 4-foot right now. Go across the top, get all the yellows moving. And spills 2 out to the side. Didn't throw it quite hard enough to get him out.
Needed to get right to the nose, too. It hung out a bit.
Well, it gets them all spinning up at the top, and Rasmus not really sure which one he needs to go at. As all of them going. Curl up a bit more.
Can only pick one.
Opponent Redstone. It is shot stone, but back 8 foot.
Back 4? Just behind T, back 4. Just behind, yeah. Or his back line, I said. Yeah, it wasn't back line. Then back T line.
Room. Wait only. Clean. Room.
No, line's good.
Room.
We can wait all day.
Room.
Whoa, just the line.
Room.
Whoa, where is it? Line's getting tight.
Yep.
No, line's
Room.
good.
Room. Full 4, guys. Real good line. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. That's good.
Jacobs draws behind cover. Right to the button. Oh, that's Fry, sorry. Canada lies 1 here without the hammer in 7.
I think they want to be top button, not to the back of the button. They're just trying to get this one past that guard. It is well protected. I think you could make a little tap on this. Important to keep a good angle and get shot stone, because you don't get shot stone, could see a guard.
Go. 6. Man kan få på fart I hvert fald. Yep. Switch.
They'd also like to keep their yellow at the back of the 8 foot in play. They wouldn't want to line up a...
This one not going to be near the weight. They're trying to get it to curl a little bit more. Just get it there.
Wow.
Not even close as Johnny Fredrickson. Don't know, caught something or just didn't throw it. Pulled the string and is...
This is the call. Yeah, you think we're right to it. Okay.
Yeah, that was about 10 feet light.
No way do I think we go right to it because he's playing that. I know.
Top 8.
Line's good. I love it.
Even bite the 4 is fine.
Where do you want
The top 4. Don't weld it because he's playing that yellow all day.
Yeah, but if we cross it here, it's real good.
We could cross it. I know.
Let's just plunk it there.
Nok ikke meget åben.
Ja, du kan spille hen over toppen, trippel.
Well, could that shot in the last end be the momentum swing in this 3-4 game? Loser playing for a bronze medal only tomorrow. Winner has his chance at gold still.
Where is it? Just line. Room. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yep. Line.
Whoa.
No.
Just for weight.
Just for weight.
And we're top 4.
Yep. No.
Almost to it.
No. Let it curl as much as it can.
No, we're
now.
top 4.
Let it curl.
Can you go on it?
Well,
Yep.
Yep. Hooray. Go.
Well, Rasmus needs to open up the 4-foot because that's got Canada in a golden position to try and get a steal. Canada leading on the scoreboard 4-3 at the moment.
Eller den derovre, det er...
Which one do you play, the red or the
Yeah,
yellow?
The angles might be better
Jeg er nødt til at fjerne dem nede i 4 fod.
raising back his own.
Og man kan sige, huller du så piler du bagefter. Hans. Så får du bare dobbelt en gang til. Hvad?
If he were to make it, he could be lying too.
Igen, så du kigger på 2 herinde, går igen.
Så har vi ingenting. Jeg er nødt til at den der væk.
Nødt til at prøve at se, om du ikke kan fjerne den, altså.
Ned at ramme 1-tallet, hvor 1-tallet er, John.
I thought the red one at first might give him a chance to run this one back and spill him out. And that's what looks like the call. Has to hit this hair on
The right,
right
side.
side of the nose.
So that the back red goes to the left of his own yellow at the back of the 8.
Well, close, needs to make contact with something. Pick the 1, pushes it back. Much better than it was, but doesn't get that other one out of the 4-foot.
You see he did hit it on the right side, but just barely able to move that back red.
Just a little bit more curl, and he catches that one.
Can't go anywhere, man. He's got. The course is huge here. I like throwing it pretty hard with the out turn. I feel like that. I mean, it's a hole, right? There's no point.
So he'll just remove that back Yellowstone to lie 4.
Interesting. I want to throw it hard with the out turn. I don't need to stick around because where those guards are, there's lots of stones on the outside that could be in-offs and shots for 2. I think this is the shot you hit, you lie 4, and be tied playing the 8th end.
Second shot. That's the hard thing.
Well, you could tuck one on the out turn right there.
I know, but to get second shot, you got to be in the here.
Yeah, and it's an angle.
I like the hit. I don't know.
Okay, let's play the hit, Fry.
They said they needed to force here. So the easiest way to do that is to get rid of the 1 yellow that is in the house right now.
No, I like the hit, Fry.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like even if you stopped here, it's not horrible.
It's not worth it, boys. It's not worth it, man. We got control right now.
I think that's the smartest thing said in that whole conversation. E.J. Harden says, we have control right now.
Yep.
Don't let that one get out of your hands.
Hard. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'll need to make that yellow go away. Canada line 4.
Yeah, I think the draw there would have been getting a little greedy.
The crowd, I think, we're sensing it, wanting to maybe see if they play the draw and go after it. We'll see how the nerves handle Rasmus now. A hit against 4. He needs to stay in the 4-foot. Rasmus, world junior champ in 2009. Playing the quiet hit. Well, playing it quiet to hit this one right on the nose. It's been spot on and gets the 1. So through 7 ends, this 3-4 game, do or die. Nothing to choose. 4-4, Canada, Denmark.
Welcome back inside the Save On Foods Memorial Center in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Packed house this afternoon for this Page 3 versus 4 playoff game. We're all set for the 8th end of play. The score is tied at 4 between Denmark and Canada.
There was an important force in that last end, but an important score for Denmark because they were chasing the entire end. They need to put a solid 8th end. If they could get a chance to steal, be great, but a force and then head to the 9th end. Maybe try and get a blank and score 2 in the 10th. Interesting seeing this first stone going into the house.
Denmark perhaps hoping that Canada will blank, and then Denmark will force Canada to a single and 9, and then they'll have the hammer coming home.
Advantage to Ryan Harnden, 93 to 89%.
Kun Johnny, kun Johnny. På, super retning. Kig lige op, drenge. Plads. God retning. Super retning. Det køler lidt. Rand og gå. Johnny selv. På. På. Retning, hvor? Sæt. Og Troels, kom med mig. Ølspil.
Well, a good start to the end for Denmark. First stone in, see maybe Canada plays the hit, and they blank the end to try and force a 9 and score 2 and 10. Canada didn't bite, put up the corner guard.
Yep.
Already have seen 2 blanks in this game.
Where is it? Whoa! Off now. Great. Off.
Well, they played the tap, pushed that one to the top of the button. Heard them talking a lot more weight and came down a bit on them. Winner of this game does move into the semifinal this afternoon against Scotland, who finished first in round robin but lost the 1-2 game. Trying to get to the inside on this one, and just a tap, doesn't have the right angle, but closes in the scoring zone. See what Jacobs goes at.
I just don't want to nose it, you know. Hack.
Well, you'd have to roll open to make the double, so that's all right.
That's fine, too. Whatever you like. I think you could probably get inside there with control.
Sure, Brad, for sure.
Do that. How much, sorry? Control?
Control. Soft and deep. Yeah. So hold.
Look at the second comparison.
Clean.
EJ Harnden with the advantage at the second. Couple of misses last end. Mikkel Poulsen. They want to try and make the double. Don't get both of them out with that quiet weight. Might be a double back, but gets them out of the forefoot. That was the problem. Needed Harry's shot to be in a better angle than that, where it ended up. They hope to cross center on that one. Ends up catching the nose, but where the shooter sits, there's a chance at the double. so-so result there.
EJ will take it.
Bang. Go. Whoa. Bang. T. Set. Bang. Go. Whoa. Whoa. Bang. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Another quiet double attempt here.
Well, it leaves the shooter in a position. They throw it quiet so they don't, so even if they miss hit it, they don't lose the shooter.
All the way over to that red.
Love to do that. Control.
Maybe a hair more just to make that roll each. Okay.
Yep. Whoa. 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 Close.
Whoa.
Never.
Or wait.
Yep.
No. Yes.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Never.
Whoa.
Never. Can he roll?
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Go. 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 Go.
And right in between, they
Yeah,
didn't
it's
want
kind of
their,
an in-between roll. A little more, they go behind the corner. A little less, they go behind the center.
Between curl an eighth of a rock more. More, I know.
and that's the problem with these hit and rolls. You have to hit it so precise. That one goes a little far. Question is there enough to make a double on the inside of that one? Or do you just go after shots? Don't.
Ikke bare skal sætte den ene op, så bygger jeg den op igen, så har du dobbelt, hvis det er. Okay? Ja.
I don't know if it's a real difficult double.
Yeah, I don't think you can get. You'd have to hit that so thinly on the top one. I think you'd crash on the top yellow.
Lang. 11 now. 11.
So instead, they'll play a hit and roll off shot stone. This one's hanging out.
Spil nu farten, mand.
Well, they want to sit for shot stone. Unable to. Rolls to the side, and it'll be third shot. So
Freeze that. You freeze those?
Try to split it.
Så godt, Jen.
It's not easy.
We're grouping our rocks.
I think that's the call, yeah. But make this good and we'll have a run back. I think the crowd likes that.
Well, asking the audience what they think they want to play. This was a big difference. You've seen the percentages, and I thought it would be big in the game, setting up things for their skips.
Your weight's
Couple
Big advantage.
Couple key misses by Fredrickson in the last couple ends
Got room. Got room. Let it curl.
has
Let it
led to
curl,
that
let it
discrepancy.
curl. Let it curl.
We saw the fifth end stats. All the numbers were very tight. But the deuce from Canada and then the force has led to that big gap in the numbers at all positions.
Rasmus now trying to just group the stones, give him a double.
It didn't take that early move.
Leo Ray, Chinese skip, was in that 6 and 5 cluster that finished in a tied for 5th position, just out of a possible tiebreaker.
Whoa. 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 Kort rull. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, make the hit, doesn't make the roll in its second shot. Just cleared that outside one.
Just not able to get that roll.
Right?
Yeah. It's full 8, guys. Yep.
The rest of the Chinese team, they actually finished atop the standings as far as percentages go, team percentages go throughout the round robin. Right in the playoff picture until the last draw.
Never wanted for weight.
If one game had finished differently than it did, there would have been a huge 5-way tie for the last playoff spot, but as it shook down, no tiebreakers needed.
can you see enough? Part of it there is the double available as Fry gets it into the forefoot to lie 1-2.
Probably enough, but you'll have the same.
Could see the run back.
It's risky.
I thought you could see enough to make the double or
Risky.
The run double or the run hit and roll in front of the second shot stone
Nose isn't too bad also because it leaves you shot stone.
behind cover.
Kom med is, Johnny.
Well, Rasmus has made a few of these in this game and this week.
Taking a relatively quiet weight at this.
Trying to have it come up, and they'll clip and roll away. Could almost got on that to touch the yellow and make it that way. Still leaves the center, and they didn't want to risk not leaving that center line guard. Go just past that yellow. They touch it, they're going to make that shot perfectly. Or if it curls a hair more. Comparison of the skips, and Rasmus Jone, slight advantage over Brad Jacobs.
Where's it?
But the one key shot being the sixth end by Brad Jacobs.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Line's good now.
Where is it?
Right
Yep,
here, guys.
good line, real good line.
Just put a top E. Okay. Or curl it.
Yep.
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 Hard right.
Oh!
They'll draw to the top of the button to lie 2. Canada does have the hammer.
Well, in there to lie 2, gets buried.
uh,
3-4 game of a world championship. 8th end, all square. Do you play the freeze, force your opponent to make the draw for a second point? Do you play the same run back you just played? Do you play that yellow raise?
Du kommer nok ikke til den med indhæng. Det er lige noget. Det er nemmere for dig at styre. 9 igen. Ja.
It's a lot of fun to watch going after this, playing the run back. Rasmus not afraid. Risk involved. Missed this one. A shot for 3 and tough hill back. I think he knows needs to make something to try and force Canada, expecting that the draw for 2 will be made if he makes the freeze.
If he misses this completely, it could be 3 if he doesn't roll to the right spot. He'd be giving up 2.
Well, hit it on the nose and will make the hit. Does he sit for shot? Again, just narrowly misses it. Now on the 8-foot for Canada to get 2. So close from being perfect. So far from so close to disaster.
He was playing that quiet way to try to keep the yellow shot right about there, so it would be behind cover.
Needed to curl up. They were on it at the end. A little missed line call. They needed to curl a hair more.
So close yet so far. Now Brad Jacobs has a draw to the 8-foot to pick up his second point here in the 8th end.
Line's good.
T-line.
So 8-foot or better.
Line's perfect. Same line. Stay
Well, right down into the forefoot. Surprised Frederickson didn't give it a try to sweep a little bit. Slides in. Canada, a big deuce, their third of the game. 6-4, leading Denmark in this 3-4 contest.
Just a little bit of announcement for the 50-50. We normally will be announcing it during this 8-man break, but we're still totaling the total numbers. Therefore, we'll be announcing it at the end of the night.
Well, they're outnumbered, but Denmark does have some fans in the crowd. That young man waving the flag. There's some of Canada's supporters here in the Save On Foods Memorial Centre in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Ninth end of the Page 3 versus 4 playoff game. Canada leads 6-4 after that deuce in the 8th.
Make it good. Hard, Brian. Oh.
Ryan Harden comes right into the house with his first stone. Corner guard will come up for Denmark. Only 2 ends remain now. Denmark needs to generate a deuce, trailing by 2 now. Canada will now come top of the house to guard up that shot stone.
Lower slide. Good line. Top 8. Let it curl if you can. Can you freeze it?
Straight to it.
Whoa, then. Whoa. Gotta curl. Gotta curl.
Come a little bit deeper than they wanted, but it'll freeze to that top red.
Well, it's all about trying to set up that 2. That's Denmark will have to do in this 9th end. That deuce in 8 was huge by Canada, following the force in the 7th end.
The momentum has definitely swung in Canada's favor this second half of the game. A deuce, a force, and then another deuce.
Well, important to sit right on the nose with this one. Able to do that. Canada now defending with a 2-point lead.
On to second stones now, so Canada can peel away the guard.
Well, try and catch at least something of that one. Slides right by, almost gets everything going.
Shot. I want to make it interesting. Is that? Trying to make it interesting.
Yikes. Er den i samme side, så han ikke har den ind? Og du mener sådan, så han får styr af. Okay, god idé. Retning, dreng. 2. God retning. 2. God fart, Lars. Super retninger. Fin retning. Fuld til. Switch. Fin retning. Og Mik. Kom ind, dreng.
Well, they put that into a similar position, knowing that if they put it on the other side, Canada might take a run at it to go after those two on the center line. Just trying to waste a few stones here, going back and forth. That one goes easily. Another guard will go out.
Corner. Hurry, boys. Warning. På plads. 2 af. På plads. 2. Og 2. Fint med Troels ind. Og Mikkel. Og spiller. Og fra dreng.
Corner guard put up again by Poulsen. Canada will get rid of it.
Yep. Clean.
Shot.
We'll see how long till one side decides to make a move. Denmark trying to get a deuce. Ninth end, 3-4 game.
Two. Warning. 2 dreng. Retning er god. Ja, dernede. God fart, Lars. Super retning. Good, Johnny.
Godt, Johnny.
Og Johnny.
Well, trying to think, when do you make your move? You try and draw around everything in the house. Those two on the center line. Last to third stones, or do you wait one more?
Yeah, Stern just asked his front end what they thought. They will put up another guard.
I think with this guard, we might see Canada decide to make a play. Just still need to make sure this guard is out in front.
Yep. 2. Ned i gang. Warning nu. Retning er god nu. Fast. Warning. 2. Din retning.
Fint nok. Godt, Johnny.
So guard, Canada now makes their decision. Rip it or put a guard. Make a guard. I think If it's a 1-point game, it's a different situation, but a 2-point game, you rip the guard. And if you're Denmark, do you draw around or do you make a play? I think you got to make a play on shot stone because Jacobs might guard on his last.
Yeah, you could play a hit and roll off those top stones in the house. Roll behind cover, hope Canada misses the double.
First, we'll see the peel of this corner guard. So, now decision time. Rasmus Stjern. Intern draw back 4 foot. Trying to give themselves a chance at 3.
Jeg spiller så langsomt. Hva? Jeg kan godt lide at spille den.
Or do you play that hit? The problem is they know who they're playing in Brad Jacobs and his ability to throw hits.
Så skal han lave dobbelt. Ellers får du muligheden for at blanke. Hvis du går rundt her, og han bare går ovenpå, så bliver du presset til en, hvis du ikke kan lave den dobbelt.
Time out.
Hvad?
Time out.
Det er sandt. Men hvis han ikke laver vi må bare spille den perfekt. Lave den, lægge den der, lægge den der. 10.
They could also just bail on this end completely and try to blank it and try to generate more offense in the 10th, but that's your last chance.
So out turn, make the hit. Roll the shooter to one side, have that yellow kick to the other.
Ej, 10, vi kan nok heller ikke smide noget.
Well, got to be careful where they go with these two. Got to keep both yellows around.
Want to spread them apart, but they both need to be in.
Try and separate them. Not nearly far enough. That half a rock double.
It's pretty straightforward.
Double's made, then you will have to bail on the end. Had to hold that line to roll the shooter. Now all they can do is hope for a Canadian miss on this double. Brad Jacobs' final stone. Well, trying to have this curl, doesn't like it. We're gonna bounce over the top and a miss on the double by Jacobs. So a draw for 2 now to tie things up for Denmark, so swings back in their favor.
Denmark got the miss they needed. That's all it takes.
But Canada will still have the hammer in that 10th end.
Final stone, Rasmus Stjern and Denmark here in the 9th, looking to tie things up. Sleeper's just cleaning it. That'll get to the 4 foot. And we have a 6-6 game heading home. Denmark and Canada. Winner moves on. Loser goes to the bronze medal game. And there's our 50-50 winner for the draw for the game this afternoon.
Think they're Canadian fans. Just a guess with those pants. $7,500 Canadian. I think they'll have a nice dinner here in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Even better if they could cheer on a Canadian victory. Canada has the hammer. See how they want to play this 10th end. All square. Ryan Harnden not going after the tick. They're going to draw into the rings.
Good line.
See a lot of the teams using
Yeah.
the two centerline guards to try and steal. Or the tick shot to defend it.
Canada decided to be the first one to get to the top of the forefoot. Tie game in the 10th end here. Canada with last rock. Denmark needs to steal a point for the victory.
Vi skal gerne være skotte, Dogs. Okay. Spiller 8 ud af hånden.
Well, important stones are going to try and set things up early in this 10th end as opposed to put another centerline guard up.
Bang, go. Lige. God retning. Pas. Lige. Pas. Pas, god retning. Pas. Vent. Pas. Vent. Yep. 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 Wow. Pas. Pas. Set. Switch. Switch. Rolig. Yep. Yep.
Well, they want to move this one back. Push it behind the tee line. And very nice pushes it back button.
Canada does lie one, but it's behind the tee line now.
Or tuck it, yeah. Yep. Clean. Yep. Yep. Rope. Rope.
Where's the weight, guys?
Yep. Rope. Rope. Good line. Yep. Yep.
Hard line.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Oh, freeze it. Freeze it.
Well, freezes to it. Like now, if you can get to the top of the button, in a pretty good position. Canada then peel the guard, and then you just continue to trade guards for a bit.
Yeah. Denmark with their last stone tapped that red back to the back of the forefoot behind the tee line. There's only about room for one stone on the button, so
Pivotal shot in this 10th end right now for Mikkel Poulsen.
Super plads. God plads. Plads. Yep. Plads. Johnny.
gotta drag this now.
Well, try and get it in. Not quite in there. That goes another rock. It's right on the Ford logo.
Gotta peel the guard, I think. Yeah. Peel?
I think so for now.
No tick shots played. A little surprised to see a lot of those played in this scenario throughout the week.
Clean, clean.
So they'll peel the guard. I think you want to replace the guard. You don't want it tight so they could run it into something.
2-1 indhal.
Okay.
Ret lined up.
Denmark will need to make a play on those stones in the house eventually because they do not lie one right now.
Okay. 2. Kort som muligt er godt.
1.
God retning.
Sådan lidt.
Rolig.
KK.
Rolig. Rolig, Johnny. Rolig. Fin retning. Tæt. Tag den lidt. Hold den i gang. Ja. Ja. Yes!
Kom nu.
Kom nu.
Kom
væk. Want to give this a go? There. Yeah. What turn is that?
I'm going to try and run it in, catch the yellow that's half exposed between Brad's legs there.
Yep. Hard. All right. All right.
If they were to do that, they could have potentially gotten rid of both yellows, but they'll just peel off the guard.
Retning. 2. Retning gang. Retning. 2. Pas. 2. Pas.
Lidt langt. Lidt længere.
2.
Johnny Fredrickson's had a rough couple ends here. His team needs him to make a couple shots now.
Johnny. Oh, Johnny.
I think Canada might either go straight at that double or give the guard.
The guard, yeah. He's got to throw another one.
The fact that there's play around the center be advantage Denmark. It is shot stone right now, sitting back of the button for Team Canada.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, trying to get them all. Well, get them all.
There they go.
Well, Ryan's father, Barry, a Canadian champ. Just let the crowd tell you how that one turned out. Not only do they make that, they also touch that stone top of the, or pardon me, back of the forefoot. Pushes it a little further so there's no stone back button to freeze to.
Huge shot for Canada.
Well, had to get that guard back out in front. Obviously tough to throw that one, especially after what you just saw from Ryan Fry. I'll just peel this one. Be interested to see how they exchange now that we're into skip stones of this 10th end. Center line open. Do you try and play a tap back if you're Denmark now on that one top 12? Do you try and get in there?
Still can't believe you made that.
Not a lot of great options anymore. Denmark with no guards blocking the 4-foot path, no rocks in play. They need to steal a point here in the 10th to pick up the victory.
Just 16% steal efficiency without the hammer throughout the week.
Johnny, hvis han går ned 4 fod, så har vi ingenting. Skal vi ikke tage et timeout nu? Ja, okay. Hvad? Jo. Er det jo? Ja.
Well, they're going to use their one timeout coach interaction. James Dryber, their coach, to talk about
bare lige kommer... Man kan gå ind, lukker den her side inde i ægget. Seriøst, hvis han bare ligger den der, så er der intet.
Hvis han kommer derned, så kan du ikke komme ind og blive bedre end.
Nej, der er vi en. Så skal du spille run back slip.
Så ligger han helt åben. Det holder ikke.
Så skal du den der her.
Jeg kan godt lide at holde vores foran.
Altså selv hvis du ikke skubber den længere end hertil, så skal han gardere den her.
I think we have to throw the guarding because I was thinking what we were talking about first. If you go back at the forefoot, he has to run it back, and if he noses it, then you get a freeze. But the problem is, if we go around, he spills them all off and rolls off. Then he's got the open forefoot for the game. The best when you get
That's there, James. We got all.
Yeah, I know, and understand. In which case, if you think that's an issue, then you have to go back of the forefoot. He has to play the run back or freeze, and then you've got something to come to, and you have to hope he jams it.
We don't like tapping it down.
And but then he can do the same thing. He can come around again.
We're running ours in it.
Yeah, but if he comes half round out, what do we do? If you're going to go now, you have to go back of the forefoot. He has leave space for a jam just behind the back of the button. Or put the guard on. But like you say, if you put the guard on, you're hoping that he's not going to draw. I don't know. The first thing we thought about was back of the forefoot, half in the forefoot. Hopefully he jams it and we get the button freeze. Plus that one's going to be a little bit higher.
If he gets that side,
then it's gone. That's the problem. So. Okay.
You want to go for the guard again?
Du kan ikke lige tabe den?
Ja, vi har lige taget den.
Jeg synes, taber er rigtig skidt.
Det er fordi, jeg tænker mere på, at selv hvis han går ned, så han skal lægge den 100% her.
Ja, ellers har du den der.
Så kan du spille den på kanten.
Så kan du smølfe ned foran, og så ligger de andre hernede og holder dem i spil, ikke?
Ja, så kan du bare skubbe den her til, så har du 3 røde i en bil. Eller hvad?
Jeg skal heller ikke lytte efter ham altid. Well, Denmark really needs to hope for a miss now from Canada. Not a lot of places to hide.
Tjek an bag over T-line deres, ikke? Jeg ved godt, du bare får den der bag af den, altså. Jeg laver den sidste for. Flyt til det siden af den anden, lige på. Ja. Jeg synes, det er tabet, dreng.
Well, I think the decision is they're going to play the tap on that one top of the 8 foot. They talked about freezing to the back. As you see, Lars Valant on the right. James getting back to his seat on the left, looking on the discussion of what to play. They thought to go back 4 foot with their first of skip stones in this 10th end.
Sterna is perfect on draws thus far in the game.
Well, they need to move this one back. They're basically trying to set something up for late in the end, trying to get a bit of a pocket, get it on the nose, tap it back, and it goes back 4 foot.
It's a good spot. That's what he called.
You guys like that? I don't like feeling it. Even the block, man. He's got no draw there. He's got to get tucked a piece. Right? Tuck any piece here.
Yeah, I think we want to be higher, right?
Well, then he can wrap around to here, maybe.
So I think, full 4 right there.
That intern side blocked after the Ryan Fry
let's make it.
raised double. Tuck it around. The timeout allowed Canada to talk about what they wanted to do. The tap back, now they're going to hook around. Don't want to leave any sort of promotion on that stone top. 12 foot for Denmark.
Same way you've been throwing, Brad.
First World Championship for Brad Jacobs in this 3-4 game. Sudden death. Had to do the same path to get to the final to win the Canadian title.
Just line at 8. Low for line. Line's real
93% on draws for Jacobs so far this game.
Real good line, guys. Full 4.
Full 4. Good line. Got to curl a bit.
Looking to put this top 4.
Well, they want to be in the top part of the house. They come right down to an absolutely beautiful spot to sit 1, 2, 3.
And now, how does Denmark get shot stone? They need to be shot stone after this rock is delivered, or Brad Jacobs will not have to throw his last rock.
Altså, det var lige nøjagtigt. Du sætter den her op på toppen, ikke? Den der skal altså lige notche sig ud. Så bliver til sådan et stykke i hvert fald. Det er svært, det er ikke. Nu skal vi spille den samme vej.
Ja, samme vej der, ikke? De der forbandede elver, vi har spillet ind over der.
Ja, herovre vej. Ja. Så lige noget der. Så var det. Så det mindre, og så tager vi den forretning. Ja. Jeg tror, det er her.
Skal lidt mere.
Det skal være 11-ret. Den skal altså kunne... Den her skal trille herud. Selvom den er ikke spiller dårligere, så må...
Well, any scenario like this, you want the team with the hammer to have to throw their last. Right now, Rasmus has to play a raised double and stick it to lie shot stone, facing 3. Been outstanding throughout this match so far.
He also needs to be out counting that red at the back of the 8-foot.
Well, tap it will roll too far, and that will mean Canada, without their last, will move on, as it needed to curl up a bit more. Jacobs took the chance. It pays off with his first, as Canada lives to play another game. They move on to the semifinal with that 8-6 victory.
The crowd here in the Save on Foods Memorial Center like that one. Canada moves on to face Scotland in the semifinal in a couple hours' time. Canada and Scotland faced each other way back on the first day of competition. Canada coming out on top. Canada winning 9-4 in draw 5. So Denmark was in good shape the first half of this game, leading 3-2 at the break. In the 6th end, Brad Jacobs with perhaps the shot of the game. Big turnaround here. He's got a slash double for 2, and he picks it out clean. Canada gets 2 there and takes a 4-3 lead. On to the 7th now. Facing 4 Canadian stones. Danish skip Rasmus Stern on the ropes a bit. Needs to hit and stick for a single point. And he will do that. So it's a tie game after 7. On to the 10th now after a great run double from Ryan Fry. Set up the end nicely for Canada. Rasmus Stern needs a tap to be shot stone to force Jacobs to throw his last rock, but he can't quite get shot stone. So Canada comes up on top of Denmark with an 8-6 victory here in the Page 3-4 playoff game. They move on to the semifinal against Scotland. So there you saw last night Sweden defeating Scotland in the 1-2 game. Sweden goes right to the final. Scotland awaited the winner of this game. Canada comes out on top. So in a couple hours' time, Scotland faces Canada. Here's Luke Coley with the winning skip.
Brad, it was a tough battle back and forth. Did you notice things swing when you made that double in the sixth end?
I think so. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. That was a nice shot to come back with after the break, and we had. I think we got all of our deuces maybe in the even ends, which is huge too. And to get that deuce in the sixth end was huge. We barely made it, but just enough. And yeah, probably a little bit of a momentum shifter.
And now the 10th end tied up. Ryan Fry's shot, what can you say?
Oh man, that was incredible. That's the loudest cheer we've ever had for our team in curling. That definitely gave us all chills. And when you make a big shot like that and the crowd goes crazy, makes you want to really win the game for them. So that was an incredible shot. Really was a game saver. Well, he pretty much won the game with that shot. So just phenomenal.
What were you thinking before Rasmus's last shot in the 10th end? What were you thinking of yours?
Before his last shot in the 10th end, I knew that even if he made it, he was probably going to be wide open. So we should have had a wide open hit for the win, which would have been real good. The guys swept my first one to such a good spot that in order for him to make his shot, he had to hit it and be wide open. So, but he missed it, and we got the win. So we'll take it.
Well, congratulations. Good luck against Scotland.
Good. Thank you. Yep, we'll need it.
So Canada lives to fight another day, or another game anyway, the semifinal against Scotland coming up in a couple hours. For Luke Coley, I'm Rick Watson. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we will see you later from the Ford World Men's Curling Championship in Victoria, Canada.